welcome to episode 98 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I ain't Jeff Mayo.
98, Jeff. We actually it's upon us. We need to think about what we're doing for episode 100.
Well, what kind of sucks is it's right before E3, so we can't just have make it the E3 blowout.
Yeah.
Darby, we need to skip a week or two.
We could do what my brother and me did for episode 420. And they said that we couldn't think of anything clever to do,
so we skip it.
They said we're skipping it until we're ready. So the next week was 421, and we're all just waiting for 420 to drop in our podcast feeds, and it's gonna be epic. Yeah, so maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can come up with something clever before that.
I know we looked at these forever just for the fun of it. You just keep on going.
You want to look at exactly when it's... Other development in my life, Jeff. I'm in a little bit of a dark place potentially. I'm at the place where I've succumbed to the Final Fantasy VII hype so much to where I was arguing with my family members who didn't believe that the remake was coming before, I said before spring 2020, and they said I was crazy, and I was arguing with them no, it's real this time. It's real this time. I mean, the fact that I am so I might be. Square might be making a fool of me, and I've let down my guards, unfortunately.
I mean, here's
for better or for worse.
Here's the thing, and I think I think some of the news will kind of get into it, and we can wait till then. But everything's pointing to, unless you get, at least internally at this moment, it is planned for this at least fiscal year. So yeah, what you're saying, spring of next year at the latest.
Yeah.
So
I agree. And no, obviously I'm there. Whenever the conversation came up, my knee-jerk reaction at this point, where it used to be nah, it's so long away. Yeah. Now it's no.
How things changed a week ago.
You non-believers.
Oh yeah. Just double check if we do the 100 podcast that's planned, it will come out the week before E3.
It's kind of, it's bad timing.
Yeah. It'd be nice if it came out the week after E3.
So we wanted to be really lazy. We could just record the E3 prediction thing, not make that the current week's episode, and just put that out then. But that's even, I don't know.
Or you mean the betting thing?
Yeah, the betting thing.
I don't think we made that the podcast the last
Yeah, we
times.
usually haven't.
Yeah. We already did the first time, but yeah. So that won't count anyway.
That would be ultra lazy.
Yeah,
we'll have this discussion off camera, maybe.
But it's a good time since we've mentioned it. The betting special. I'm getting the ideas rolling in my head. I think it's gonna be fun and maybe a little crazy. Who knows?
Yeah, so how does that work exactly for if someone didn't see our previous ones?
The way it's gonna work is hopefully we need to make sure schedules work out. Darby, Will, and Jacob are going, and Darby's the current champ as far as those two go.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Are going to pretty much answer a bunch of random bets I come up with.
Yeah.
And other shenanigans. Will there be a cold open maybe at the beginning of this one? Who knows?
Yeah, I'll watch to find out.
Maybe there'll be shenanigans in characters. I don't know, honestly. We've
Who knows at this point? Who knows? Anything could happen. No, it's honestly some of the most fun I have doing Nerds at Large things. It's a lot of fun. And we haven't been able to do one in a while. We did the Game Awards.
Yeah, Game Awards. Not really much time other than that.
Yeah. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. Also, just other housekeeping before we get into the real podcast. Make this the last week I get to say this. Make sure you check out our Game of Thrones Spoilercast. It's the
finally
series
over.
Finale, the last real mainline Game of Thrones episode of all time. So definitely tune into that with us and the guys at Respawn Aim Fire podcast. It's going to be a fun time. For whether it's good or bad, you're going to want to hear us kind of unpack it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
it'll be weird.
Boy. Yeah, it's strange. It's weird to think that it's going to be over. And there's so many conflicting emotions. I don't know. Go over, check that out. Nerds at Large Spoilercast on podcast feeds or on our YouTube channel. All right, Jeff, let's get into some games. I think I'm the only one that has some things to talk about. And really the only thing of note that I've been playing this past week is Final Fantasy VII, because the hype just came over me. And I had bought it on my Switch. I had played a little bit. I'd gotten through the first few little missions. But then after the Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer, I was like, okay, I want to at least get through Midgar, which I am rounding the bend at the end. I'm near the very end of the Midgar arc. So I just wanted to talk about a few things. Me and Jeff are still probably planning on some point in the future for us both to maybe play through this Midgar section and then just kind of have a discussion on what we think.
Yeah, I should have more time definitely in the next week, so I'll try to get that done.
Yeah. And even if you can't get it done by E3, as long as we get it done sometime this year, probably the early part of this year, because, the game won't be coming out, obviously, for a little bit anyway.
Shadow Drop Darby.
Oh my god, dude! Can you imagine?
Don't expect.
Oh no! It's not happening. But if it did, I would lose.
Square wins.
I'd be like, I don't even want to talk about the Z3 press conference. I have to go start downloading it. But I just want to real quick get in a few of my thoughts. Just I was playing this with the remake in mind, thinking of things that it could do better or things that it could like expand upon. And like the number one thing that I think came into my mind as I was playing it is dialogue. And this should be obvious, but this is a game from the 90s and it has like simple little like text panels. And I was definitely thinking about like there's a lot happening plot wise, but actually these characters are only saying like 2 lines of dialogue to each other before the thing happens, because
isn't there some weird localization things?
Oh yeah. That goes without saying. Like the localization for Final Fantasy VII is not the best, even though they fix some of it in these later ports. It's still not the best, because I could imagine some of the localizers are like, we don't even know what they were trying to say here. It's like, I don't even know how to salvage this. It's like, oh boy. So yeah, obviously that could be expanded. The localization is obviously going to be better in this fully voice acted modern take, but also I just want to see more of like their dialogue between each other, like, because in some of these, because of the nature of the game, it fits. But if you had like fully realized people like speaking lines to each other, you're gonna want them to have more of a back and forth.
Oh yeah.
And I could see like Cloud and Barrett's relationship being so much better, because they kind of hate each other at the beginning of this. And I just really want the remake to kind of like, it's a lot of the same people who made Final Fantasy VII before, and a lot of people that are fans of it working on it now. So I kind of want to see their take on that Cloud and Barrett relationship in an actual like human dialogue that goes back and forth.
They should just use the lines from Machine Abridged.
Yes, but yeah, that's actually what I meant. It's just
if Tifa doesn't say, "Will you do me a solid? I'm gonna break the disc."
What if they do that as a nod? They won't. But what if
they won't?
What if they won't? That would be really cool.
Final Fantasy does what Dragon Ball Z don't.
Yeah, exactly. Other things, I definitely want more character moments from Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse, the like Avalanche members, because there definitely is a problem in Final Fantasy VII where they act like you should care about those characters like early on in there when they have not really set them up enough. That you've only really had a handful of like lines with them, and then the story moves on and you're like not really seeing them anymore, and like everything, like I want that whole section of the game to be explored a lot more, which kind of moves into, I also, when I was walking around the slums and like Sector 7 and some of those early missions before shit starts to get crazy, it looks cool in there, but like I want that to be like a hub world, basically. I want it to feel like Sector 7 is this like awesome hub that you're walking around in the beginning of the game. And I think you could add in a bunch of side quests that weren't in the game before.
Escort missions, Darby.
I mean, if they're cool. But
not the escort a Moogle.
Yeah. Is there a Moogle in this game?
I don't know.
I think there's a Moogle in like the weird training area in Midgar, and I think that might be the only Moogle in the entire game. But I'm probably wrong.
Escort it to the prom.
I'm probably wrong. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, there are so many just weird characters that you talk to in Midgar that just like are bizarre, like really, really bizarre characters. And I would love for them to take those bizarre characters and like keep them as weird as they are, but like you're doing a quest for them this time, and make it like, and that's a way that like you could have a game that's just Midgar, but it still feels like it.
Oh yeah, it's like we talked about last week, wherever that was, about how they can break this into multiple parts and make it feel good as far as like full game and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just kind of like you were saying, flesh out character relationships and storylines and stuff. Put in the side quests, as long as they're good, of course, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, make Sector 7 or whatever bigger and feel like more like it's actually a place.
Right. Like I want to, before the bombing missions are over and everything, I want to feel like I know Sector 7 more than I do in the original game. And I think that's definitely a way that they could expand upon that. Because it's really cool to see, like, yeah, these people who are kind of living in poverty, like literally living under a giant plate. Like, they can't see the sun. It's very like post-apocalyptic and dystopian, but it's cool. And it'd be cool to explore that a lot more. Yeah, going on, the wall market is definitely going to be the most interesting thing to look at for the remake. I think the wall market is the whole dressing section. Playing back through it again, I stand by what I've said before. Like, I think there can and should be alterations to the wall market. There's definitely, especially in the Honeybee Inn, like the basically strip club area, there's some like weirdly homophobic stuff, and so like, you know, it's kind of one of those like haha gay people things at times in there. And there's just some weird stuff. And I don't mind some of that being taken out, but I do still think that the wall market and the general cross-dressing like section of the game is still worth doing. I just think that they need to find a good way to do it. And Don Corneo, the like central bad guy during that, I want him to still be a sleazy mob boss dude, but maybe tone him down a few pegs for this. You know, like I want wall market to still be there and still feel like this weird sleazy place, but obviously there is some elements of it that maybe, I don't know, don't fit as well. But I did feel a little better about it playing it this time, thinking about the remake. I was like, it's not quite as bad as maybe people make it out to be. There are definitely bad sections, though. And it's just so weird. This game is so weird, but I love it so much. And my last thing, because like I'm at the end of Shinra HQ, so I might talk about that more later. But the other biggest thing that I had to take from this, and then we can move on, was the puzzles. There are puzzles in this game, but they're not very good. I mean, it's a 1997 game. They didn't know what they were doing with this.
JRPG.
Yeah. I want those to still be in there, though, but I just kind of want a very modern take on some of these, like, on some of the same puzzles they had here. Like, there's literally, in the beginning of, like, there's just, you hit A at the same time everyone else does to hit this button. It's just, like, the dumbest way to interact with the game possible, but in 1997, it was probably really cool. So, like, yeah, I just want modern, like, almost Tomb Raider-like puzzles. You know, I think about this third-person action game, you know, like that.
I can't wait to run up the stairs.
Yep. And that's basically it. Basically, I still love playing back through this game, and I'm about to get to, like, the Genova, like, stuff like that, and I really am excited. If anyone who's played the game knows what I mean, it's like a straight up horror movie. And even as a kid, it scared me in this 1997 horrible graphics. I can't imagine. Like, I wanted it to be like full Resident Evil 2 type feeling. Like I'm like terrified during that section. Yeah. So, yep. Good game, man. I'm so pumped. I'm so freaking pumped for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Want to talk about another probably good game that we're pumped about, Darby?
Yes, I do, Jeffrey.
News jingle.
He just took it in his own hands.
I do what I can. Okay, so Darby, we had a Nintendo Direct this past week.
We did. Surprise.
Yeah, surprise. They're not too surprised. I kind of expected this was coming.
Yeah.
But it finally happened.
It always feels like a surprise because they're like, hey, it's in 2 days. Get ready.
Like, I think this was one of those, hey, tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it was tomorrow. Yeah.
So, that's up. Yeah, we got a Direct for Super Mario Maker 2.
Ooh-wee.
So yeah, that's exciting. Darby and I have talked about we are excited about this game, and I was happy to get a Direct going over all the stuff. 15 minutes long.
Awesome Direct.
I guess it was technically 17 minutes, but the last 2 minutes were not really related to the game. We'll get to those parts though. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of quickly run through some of the stuff that's new to the game and all that kind of stuff, and we'll talk about stuff here and there as we, feel like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as we saw, they tried to hit home. Hey, slopes, gentler slopes.
That's like the subtitle of the game is Super Mario Maker 2 Slopes.
Yep.
There's slopes now.
Yep.
And everything has slopes.
Sun. We knew that, but what we didn't know, and we didn't see during the Direct, but I think that maybe the Japanese Direct is what the angry sun looks like in the new Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look angry. He just looks kind of indifferent and scary.
Indifferent sun is almost even more terrifying than angry sun.
He just looks disappointed. He's not angry. He's just disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you also just want like generally what did you think about like this showing of the game? Like,
So good. I think
Yeah.
I think it did a really good job. I was scared at first because it was kind of seemed like it was going to do the whole thing of this is what Mario Maker is.
Yeah,
it did
yeah.
that for a little bit, but not really that long. Till it's fine, especially with how long the direct was on one game.
yeah.
And then, but they quickly went into, hey, here's everything new. You could tell what some of the stuff was from the trailer, but we're going to explain it, say what exactly it is. And then they got into stuff like story mode is in this game and kind of explain what that's all about. Then they're like, hey, obviously we sent a press release and everything and we're showing it off. Super Mario 3D World is one of the new, what's the word? Templates. Styles.
Yeah.
Styles for it. Here's how it is completely different.
Yeah, and they definitely we got the news that we maybe could have assumed that like when you're making things, it won't carry over onto 3D
so
World.
you start making a level and you like what you're doing in the original Super Mario Bros. Style. If you go to 3D World, you have to erase what you've done up to that point because it's completely different with physics and all that kind of stuff and stuff that are available to you, items and stuff.
And might seem like a bummer, but once you see it, it's like, oh, it makes sense.
There's like so many items that they showed off in there that unless they are another ones, but we can presume it's only in 3D World. And it's like people are gonna go crazy with this.
Well, and like I think I said to you, that excites me because like when we go future to like potential new DLC styles, like adding in new styles like in the future, I like that them having to like somehow find a way for everything to work in every style. They're not holding themselves back to that.
Yeah.
Like if they have a cool idea that wouldn't work in other styles, they're still gonna do it anyway, which is like it's cool to me.
Yeah.
Like obviously it sucks that you can't go back and forth, but 3D World would be so much worse if they had to make it work and everything else. They wouldn't be able to do
because
so
obviously
many
one
things
thing in
they
the
did.
trailer that showed, hey, this is completely different, is the fact bonsai bills are in the background and come forward instead of just having to go from side
Well, and
to
there
side.
was just like the 3D World is the thing that got me has me the most excited about this game, which is crazy because I probably would have bought this game regardless. Like we said, this is a very much like a Smash Bros situation. We would have bought a port. Like they didn't have to do this, but they went above and beyond. But the fact that 3D World has like so many interactable objects, like you can like give them a stack of blocks and they have to like throw them and like stack them up their own way, or you have to you have to
the
actually
crates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they had like the little yellow block. I guess they were crates that they had to like throw. Like you can interact with them. It's not just the way you lay them out.
They're
They
throwing
can
in
do
the
things.
lava or water to.
Yeah. I mean, between that and then just all the like
On-off.
platforms, the on-off switches.
Oh, right, well, those were in the other ones too. It's like, so yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it just looks awesome, and there's just so many there's so many ways it all looks cool. And my biggest thing that I can applaud them is it seems that Mario Maker 2, like there are a lot of kind of complex building stuff, like complex ideas for these level creators but they all look like they're fairly simple to understand. Like even like the like making certain parts of the stage go faster, like scroll faster, scroll shorter. It's pretty complex stuff. Like this is going different than this, and it has this like weird line. It almost looks like a Adobe like a Adobe Premiere Pro thing, but it all looks friendly. It all looks like it's complex stuff in a simple UI, I guess, for lack of a better term, which is cool to me. Like, I feel like I could look at that and like I can understand that versus like Dreams, which I might get to the point with Dreams, but obviously when I just glance at Dreams,
Dreams is
editor,
you gotta get more into
I
it.
don't even know where to start with this.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I can jump into Mario Maker and at least make fun stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we can go through like some of the specific stuff that we have. I just wanted to get more of a...
On-off switch, those are very exciting. Those are like, it seems to have a lot of utility. The thing that pointed out to me is not just as simple as, hey, you do this and, it's just one thing. It seems like you can apply it to different things, which, the different items and stuff, and you can do creative puzzles and stuff with it. So that'll be exciting. They got seesaw, swing, claws. What looks cool is you can change the water source lava level in the forest/castle themes and can change the rising speed. Cool.
You can completely customize that. And didn't the original one not have water at all?
Other than the water thing.
It had a water thing, but you couldn't have like a water and dry. Like, you couldn't have any mix of the two.
Which is cool. Vertical sub areas, which we kind of got a hint up in the original trailer, but they confirmed it, and that is dope. That can add some craziness.
Yeah, I want to know what the vertical limit is.
Let's see. Yeah, this make people happy that really get into levels. You can build walls and stuff so it can stop scrolling when you go into a certain area or something. Kind of hard to explain, people.
No.
Dry bone shells, Darby.
Yeah, Dry Bones. He's back. He's here.
Cool about it, if you get in, you can hop on lava and stuff, and then you can use it to become invincible for like a second. Play dead.
Yeah, oh yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, so you can dodge things.
Big coins. Big coins, baby.
I want the big coins.
I'm gonna put a bunch of 100 coins, man.
100.
I'm gonna get you people them lives. But okay, I'm skipping a couple. Co-op making, Darby. But it seems like the only thing usable is each person having one Joy-Con. Maybe.
I feel like
that's what they showed, but that may not be.
I feel like they just showed that because they want the pop off your Joy-Con. Like even if you just have your switching to Joy-Con, pop it off and hand it off. Like I feel like you'd be able to use whatever you want. Yeah.
But co-op making, that is cool, where two people just on one screen and making stuff.
Yeah. I think Easy Allies was talking about it. I think it would be cool if you could do these, like me and Jeff from different places could do this. So like it would almost be like a Google Doc where Jeff could go in there one night, make some changes, save it, leave, and then I can go in there another time. I don't necessarily think that's how this is going to work.
Yeah.
But that would be cool. Otherwise, like I don't know how often we'll use this, but
it's just one of those things, even if let's say we don't use it, the fact that it's there is cool.
It is, but it's one of those things, like I feel like if me and you were going to sit down and make a level together, it would almost be easier for us to just pass back and forth the one controller, or just you tell me what you want to do rather than both of us have our hands in there. I feel like that could get chaotic.
It depends on the person. I mean, we can kind of be calm, but it also means we don't have to switch because like, hey, but when we take this, I can just grab it and do that.
Yeah.
So I definitely see the use for it. Now, here's one of the most exciting parts I saw there: custom clear conditions.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't explain too. I mean, they said stuff like get a certain amount of coins in there, but if you kind of freeze frame it and stuff, and I think Game Explain found one later, but we'll get to that. Got a little section for Game Explain show to give them credit for stuff they found.
Yeah.
But here's the ones that were in the direct. That's all. Grabbing a certain amount of coins, defeat a certain amount of enemies, and you can choose which enemy type. Reach the goal with a certain power up. I'm not sure if you can do like any power up, but it did show, hey, Mario's got to have the Mega Mushroom to clear.
Okay.
Reach goal without taking damage. Reach the goal without landing after leaving the ground. And grab a 1-up.
Like, this opens up so many.
This makes me excited.
I mean, this is another one of the things that I told Jeff. Like, there's so many things that I saw in this direct that kind of makes the original Mario Maker retroactively look basic. Mm-hmm. And this is another one of those things. It's like, why didn't we always have this? It's so cool. Like, it makes it to where you can make completely different game types almost.
Oh yeah, I think we'll get to it. They keep on talking about they have like tags or more tags for the searching for courses. I feel like this will help puzzles more than anything. Yeah. Because then they can be more free. Like, hey, you don't have to do the 5 posts. You can you got to collect this item or these certain coins or something. And then you just kind of follow the puzzles to get to that.
Is it weird that I'm almost more excited for the puzzle levels than I am the platforming levels? Because I just think it could be really cool.
Hey, it would be great if we have both.
Yeah.
Everyone can do what they want.
And there's a story mode, Jeff.
There is a story mode. It has over 100 Nintendo creator courses. Get hyped. The overall mission of the story mode is to earn coins to complete Peach's castle, which is apparently destroyed. And according to Game Explain, based on what it kind of looked like, you can kind of tell by looking at it. They're thinking based off dialogue, maybe the Undo dog did it, because at the beginning
he accidentally undid the castle.
Yeah, the dog. Or one of the toads says, "This is why I'm a cat person," or something like that.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. And then also in this one, they have like Undo Dog and some of the other Mario Maker original characters like you see in the
they're like actual characters like with full bodies.
So the Undo Dog's gonna be in Smash.
Oh my god, it's happening. DLC Pack 2, baby.
Yeah, baby. So that is exciting. The story mode is, it's just kind of motivation to do these levels. I would have done it anyway. But the exciting thing for me is the fact, hey, 100 levels already in there made by Nintendo. It's obviously the exciting thing.
Oh yeah, that's a lot, and to see what they can do with these,
That's a full game's
with
worth
these
already.
levels, with this level editor, and we're at the point where it's like this level editor is so good that it almost like it feels more like a Mario game than even like Mario Maker levels before would have.
Yeah. They went over to the new course themes: desert, snow, forest, and sky, which is all exciting.
Yeah,
snow looks dope.
Yeah,
they all look
snow
dope.
does look cool.
And a lot of people, including me, when looking at those themes, or when they're showing us things, like, this music sounds new. Like, it sounds familiar, but it's like remixed. And then they screamed, "Yep, new music." And these themes are by Koji Kondo. Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, which is always hype.
Yes, indeed. And again, shows they're going all out for this game.
And then they went into something interesting. We have the Angry Sun, Darby, but what about the, I guess, Happy Moon?
Happy Moon.
Yeah. What the moon does, other than obviously change each thing the night, it changes for each theme, it changes how they work in some ways.
Yeah.
And they gave a bunch of examples.
Yeah, maybe we don't have to go into all of them, but like, definitely go watch the direct. But like, it like impacts each style, like each of the desert, sky, all those things, which is cool. Like I like the
Yep.
I like that the moon is happy. Don't let the sun bring you down, moon.
Yeah, and then apparently once you unlock the moon, you're able to just toggle it, it when you're making the level instead of having to add the moon in there.
You can toggle like the effect
to make it night and all that kind of
okay,
stuff. So
good. That's good. Yeah, because I did think about that. I was like, this should just be a mode, not necessarily an enemy. Okay.
Yeah. The way they say. And then they also said some items might change. Example: mushroom to rotten mushroom.
Yeah, which was cool.
And then that's when they went into all the 3D world stuff. We won't go into all of it, but we've talked about some. We'll just go over a couple highlights that we haven't maybe mentioned. I mentioned earlier
Mario, obviously.
Yeah. Clear pipes are exciting. Like Darby mentioned, the crates are cool. Warp blocks. The blinking boxes are exciting. I didn't expect those in here.
Yeah. Definitely seems like cool possibilities with that.
Yep. The Koopa Troopa Ka.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is cool. It goes pretty fast.
Yeah. And then Game Explain saw that there's no way, there doesn't seem to be a way to put just a car in there without the Koopa Troopa in it.
So you gotta kill him.
Yeah, you gotta kill him and steal his car.
GTA. Just pull him out of his car.
Yeah, and go crazy with it.
All right, people are definitely gonna make like Sonic-esque levels
Mm-hmm.
by just riding the car through a bunch of loops and doing all that stuff.
And a cool thing is 3D World seems to have its own like sub boss type character with Pom Pom.
Yeah, Pom Pom seems cool.
Yeah,
she can is that a thing she did in 3D World? I didn't put 3D World.
Oh, yeah,
like would mix a bunch of forms of herself.
Yeah. I was talking about that. If we do get enough, I guess this is a good time to bring it up. Darby kind of mentioned this before, or we mentioned it before with the whole, when you go to 3D World, it'll delete the ones you did before if you're switching from another style. On the style select screen, it actually is styles and then the 4 from the original game, and then other styles.
That's with an S, you guys.
Yes, and that's the only place where 3D World is. And also, if 3D World was the only one, there'd be no need for that, and they just still do the toggle thing anyway and say, hey, this is just for 3D World, and that'd be fine. The fact is, other styles and all that, it's like, another one's coming. Whether it be already going to be in the game on release, that could be a hype E3 reveal, maybe. Probably not, because people already have the game by that point, probably.
Yeah. That seems too close.
Or they're at least planning on it, so even in his DLC, that's exciting. The fact is, odds are we are getting another one, and it's going to be like 3D World and be different from the other ones, which itself is exciting.
Yeah, and the fact that it probably means they're going to be continuing to support this game, which was not a given. I mean, like Mario Maker didn't really get any DLC, did it?
It got like they actually, yes, it got significant DLC. Like the whole checkpoint flag wasn't in there in the beginning.
Oh.
And then they added all those amiibo costume type things. Like, remember, there's a baby metal costume.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we have not seen yet, so I wonder if those are going to make.
Yeah, where's Baby Metal? We haven't seen it.
Exactly.
Cowards.
Give me tickets to Baby Metal and Avatar, Nintendo. I want to go to Death 4. Anyway, then they go into Nintendo Switch Online related functions. They've revamped the search function to search for levels, which is great. Like we said, I have a whole bunch of tags. Like, includes standard levels, puzzle solving, speedruns, auto scrolls, auto Marios. I'm going to not do those too often. Short and sweet, multiplayer versus, once we get to that. Themed, music, and just none. No. Endless challenge, I guess is replacing the 100 Mario challenge thing. Instead of just doing 100 levels in a row, you just keep on going until you die. Multiplayer is in the game. Competitive and cooperative. Competitive has rankings. So this is the first 2D Mario that has like online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, they're like kind of, especially the ranked version, like they're actually pushing the competitive element of that, which is kind of hard to make Nintendo do sometimes. But they even announced like a tournament, which I guess we're going to get to. But
yes, and there is local multiplayer up to 4 switches, wireless multiplayer thing. And I know what you're thinking, Darby. Gameplay in that video where it said there might be proof that there is on one Switch multiplayer.
I did not watch that video.
Yeah. No. So it's not really a concrete thing, but Darby and I discussed it off camera, and as much as it sucked to not have it on one Switch, I can kind of see maybe from a technical standpoint how that could be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's the split screen thing would get hard if you did it that way, just because.
Because you got to run the game 4 times, and if like they don't know how crazy the stages are going to be.
Well, I even more thought like, I mean, the levels were designed for you to see the full screen. I mean, I guess you could like compact the full screen down, but like it. Yeah. I thought there was going to be like some modes that you were able to do there or something. I don't know exactly, but it overall makes sense. It's just a bummer because it would be cool for like our group of 4. Because me and you are probably the only people in our friend group that are going to buy this, and it would be cool to have them in there. But at least like you and I could like compete on stuff, you know, and that it'd be cool to have like the race element of it, like to see you like jumping around there and be like, oh god, I gotta beat Jeff, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Then they did the last couple kind of not directly gameplay related things, but cool things. There's a version of the Super Mario Maker 2 that is available, including a year of Nintendo Switch Online for $69.99, so it's a $10 discount for the online for a year. That's cool. The Nintendo Switch game vouchers, which are very interesting things, for $99.99. You can do it on the online thing if you're a Nintendo Switch Online and get these vouchers for 2 of them. Each one you can get a Nintendo game. Right. So if you get 2 full $60 games with them, you save $20 for the 2 games. And they mentioned, hey, you can do that for Mario Maker, and
it also works well for Nintendo because their games stay $60 forever.
Exactly. And they didn't say it in the direct, but there is like in press release in the website and stuff. It is going to work for Fire Emblem and like Astral Chain and Marvel Ultimate Alliance thing. Right.
So like if you're like me and Jeff and you know 100% that you're getting Mario Maker 2 and Fire Emblem day 1,
or it's worth it to me because even if it's not Fire Emblem, I use it on because I got a pre-order already physically. Yeah. There's going to be another Nintendo game within the next year I'm going to get.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll probably use this for Fire Emblem. I have not pre-ordered anything. Yeah, which would be cool.
And also something exciting, they announced the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational 2019 on June 8th. Same day as other tournaments. I imagine it's going to be like the last one where they said so, where Treehouse is going to make a bunch of levels never before seen and have a bunch of great Mario players go through them for the first time. And that'll be fun.
That'll be cool watching people do things that I could never ever dream of.
Yep. And we'll be able to try those levels, Darby, probably.
And fail so bad.
Exactly. And finally, before we get out of here, Game Explain has naturally been going through all this stuff. Japan also had some stuff, different stuff in the direct, some slight stuff. And also, they had a couple streams after the direct. So Game Explain got some new information, and we're going to go through those, Darby.
Let's do it.
You can potentially have multiple items in one block. What that means is, in Mario Maker 1, you can only put like 1 Mega Mushroom in a block. Right. Now, on some footage when there was multiplayer, people were able to hit the block multiple times and multiple things come out.
That's cool.
So, it
seems simple, but that could actually be...
Yeah. And I think they were showing that you can have different things in there, so it's not like just, hey, 4 Mega Mushrooms. You can have like a Mega Mushroom, then Fire Flower.
Can you put a Bowser in there?
Yes.
Just like, bloop.
Yes, of course. I'm pretty sure I did that to you. They show small pipes and that you can do slopes on them. Don't know if you can go through those small pipes or not.
Yeah, it showed like the pipes had slopes, the like conveyor belts had slopes. Everything has slopes, Jeff. Slopes everywhere.
Yeah. 3D World has a new kind of like spin jump move. Was pretty cool. You can kind of do it in the original 3D World, but it wasn't like a jump, kind of like it is, and it seems to be in Mario Maker. Okay. So that's cool. The Ring of Boos, the infamous Ring of Boos, they can move. Yeah. They're not just stuck in place. Apparently, they can move and follow you. We'll see what that's about. That sounds scary. Yeah, we talked about the new look thing we sent for Super Mario Bros. U. Another new objective: escort Toad.
Oh, I hadn't heard about this.
Yeah, it was. I think it was in the Japanese thing, or maybe it was like there was a footage of showing him Mario escorting a Toad for a level.
Like you had to keep the Toad alive.
Yeah, I guess it was I think it was just like a little screenshot or something, but it showed like a little Toad and like a Toad. Just following him. Okay. And it wasn't the Toad you're playing as. Like I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was designed in a way it's like this. Yeah, this is the Toad you're escorting, which is like awesome because that means there's more objectives we have not seen and they're pretty varied. I
wonder how that works. Does he just jump whenever you jump, but you have to just make sure basically there's there's enough room for 2 people to land or something like that.
Yeah, remember, good news is people actually got beat these levels before they can upload them. So
yeah.
So that's
yeah.
So that's exciting. Just another new objective that could be fun.
Yeah,
and annoying depending on how they do it.
Could be very annoying.
Now, the Japanese Direct shows something interesting. Apparently, in the 3D World style, there is an additional power-up. It is a hammer. We don't know where in the world it does because it just showed it on the wheel. You know when you're selecting things. Mm-hmm. On the power-up thing on the Japanese Direct had one extra slot, and it was this hammer.
Is it the Smash Bros. Hammer?
No. No, it's a little hammer with little eyes. It's reminiscent of the pickaxe that you can use in El Capitan Todd, aka Captain Toad.
Okay.
So yeah, look Captain Toadish, which
Captain Toad crossovers,
and it kind of makes sense if it might be related to that because Captain Toad, as far as levels made, as we know, Captain Toad levels made a debut in 3D World.
Mm.
So
okay,
hype. Wow. So that just means another new power up, which is exciting. So that's all I have, Darby, and it is all hype.
It's a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot to talk about, but man,
so excited, Darby. Next month, a little over a month away from this game.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yep,
I'm gonna make some dumb shit.
I kind of wish it would come out of the Wii Fit. Like after all the hype, for them, we just get a Mario game.
Yeah, in between the conferences.
Yeah.
But soon, Jeff. It'll be
soon. Darby, you know what's exciting we need to get back to?
Would that be that cowboy game everyone used to talk about?
Yeah. It might have been our game of the year. I can't remember. Okay.
It might have been. Who knows?
This comes from John Robb from IGN. Rockstar released today the largest update for Red Dead Online since the online component of the Red Dead Redemption 2 launched in late November. The latest Red Dead Online update boasts a slew of new content, including new co-op missions and the Land of Opportunity storyline, new free roam missions from new NPC quest givers, dynamic events around the world, new posse versus modes, including competitive fishing, bird shooting contests, or real picking contests.
The real game is here, Jeff.
Yes. New playstyles, offensive and defensive. Poker is now available at inns and saloons across the map. New showdown mode, Overrun, new clothing items, updated and balanced hostility system, ability to press charges when killed by a player in free roam, new HDR settings, including manual adjustments, new variant first-person shooter control scheme, updates to daily challenges, streaks, and rewards.
I really want to know what the pressing charges exactly means. Like, do I have to go to the law enforcement? And
I imagine you can just do it.
And say, new Master 69 killed me. Please,
yeah, I think that has to do because
him.
People found it very annoying when people just kind of want to live out their lives and then people are just killing it.
Yeah, and that's also where I'll be honest, I wasn't completely listening. Is this where we talked about the defensive play style thing? They have that later. Like, you're about to talk about that, I think. Yeah.
The most noteworthy additions, in our opinion, are the play styles and dynamic events. Designed to reduce griefing for players who want to explore and interact with the world as opposed to battling other players, the defensive play style adds a series of buffs against would-be aggressors. This includes unique icons, taking reduced damage from hostile players, and the inability to be melee tackled or lassoed. offensive players will experience Red Dead Online with all of its default settings and gameplay elements.
Now this is interesting to me. So like you can choose to play defensive, so you basically it just means you're harder to kill.
You're harder to kill by people that are just kind of being dicks and just killing people. So like, the whole thing of people would lasso you and just take you away.
Yeah.
That can't be done to you when you just want to try to enjoy things.
Right, but can you still attack them just as good
That
as
is a
you
good
did before?
question.
Because
and
like,
I'm not
what's
sure.
stopping everyone from just choosing defensive? So then now everyone's super armored, basically.
Well,
and
then
they
you can't
still
do it
just
at
fight
all.
each
So
other.
then it's like no one can do it because everyone will be in defensive mode.
Yeah, but then like nothing really changed. Everyone's still on
No,
the
the whole
same.
thing changed. No one can be an asshole to each other.
But everyone would be still on the same playing field at least. Like,
Yeah, but you can't lasso them still.
yeah, I guess that's true. But then like, yeah, that could just take it out of the game almost entirely if everyone's
Yeah.
just doing that. Which, yeah, I mean, like it's. I get like.
I'm
I'm not even saying that it wouldn't be a right answer. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
wonder, like,
Honestly, that's probably how I play for the most part because that could get annoying.
and it wasn't. I mean, the little bit we played,
Yeah.
it got kind of annoying. It's probably gotten worse. Like,
Yeah,
I've heard
100%.
a lot of people say,
Yeah.
the griefing is really bad.
This next thing is exciting. Dynamic events will add randomized interaction with NPCs and need throughout the world, much like the random encounters in single player.
Yeah, and I really, really hope we get to the point with Red Dead Online that it really feels like the world's as like alive and open as the single player was, because it definitely wasn't that case when we played, which was the first week of the beta. I mean, we played freaking early.
We had fun with it. We put 10 hours into it pretty quickly.
I really want to get back into
Yeah.
it. Like, I'm not trying to down talk it at all.
Yeah.
It was like,
Well, all this comes alongside the subtle non-announcement that Red Dead Redemption 2's multiplayer mode is now out of its beta phase. Keen-eyed observers may have noticed the beta tag missing from the game's menus and on its marketing imagery. In Rockstar Newswire post announcing the update, decidedly refers to the beta period in the past tense during a thank you to players. The announcement also details some of the additional gameplay elements that will be coming later this year. Quote, this is just the beginning. The future of Red Dead Online not only includes continued improvements to the core elements of the world to make every aspect of the game fun for all kinds of players, but also brand new experiences that establish a deeper, more immersive connection to the world and your character. In quote, okay, final paragraph. This includes the addition of what Rockstar is calling roles, specific paths that and that characters can pursue based on unique and specific skill sets. They are confirmed to be launching this summer: the Bounty Hunter, Trader, and Collector, and each will offer its own unique weapons, outfits, and attributes. That sounds cool.
it sounds cool. I really hope that the roles goes more into like the role playing aspect of it. Like, especially as they put more and more of these, like, can I become like a merchant? Can I become like, like I really want it to be not all just these are different loadouts for me to kill people with. I want it to be more roleplay.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's always been kind of the promise of Red Dead Online to me, is that it's not always just going to be about, shooting people in the online game. It could be more immersive than that.
We're going to be bounty hunters.
Yeah, just like Red Dead itself was really immersive. And like, we need to get back into this because it was really fun having just our our bounty hunter duo or our like outlaw duo going around doing missions, even with the base amount that was there. And there's probably so much more already that since we played.
Mm-hmm.
So,
dude, ready to get
man, Red Dead's cool.
E3 Derby.
Like, when in my life in the next few years am I gonna place my Red Dead replay? Because like I'm gonna replay that game again at some point. It's just how long do I wait before it just goes down smooth? We'll see.
I don't know.
But we need to play Red Dead Online. I've kept it downloaded. Yeah, I've not deleted the
Did I delete
100 and something gigs off of my.
I can't remember. Okay, moving on, Darby. Let's talk about that there E3. That's really close and it's exciting.
It's so close, Chef.
This comes from Janet Garcia from IGN. Netflix will host a panel at E3 this year called "Bringing Your Favorite Shows to Life: Developing Netflix Original into Video Games."
What?
The company said the panel will consist of game developers and show creators who are feeding fan passion by adapting Netflix original content to video games. IGN's own Lucy O'Brien will be hosting the panel.
BoJack Horseman dating sim, you cowards.
Prior to the official invitations going out, the official Netflix, NX, and E3 accounts discussed the details rather publicly on Twitter to build the excitement for the event. As for what the games the streaming giants will actually highlight, Netflix mentioned the upcoming Stranger Things 3, the game, but added that there's definitely more to come. Given that it's possible we we could get some new game announcements at the panel. The fact that this Twitter exchange was from Netflix NX, Netflix Hub for comic book and sci-fi shows and movies, that may also indicate what type of series Netflix intends to turn into video games.
Do anything for you, Jeff?
I mean, potentially. I'm trying to think what shows it could be. As far as, especially if it's, you consider the whole, this is apparently from the Netflix account that focuses on comic books and sci-fi. Umbrella Academy? Yeah. They got a lot of shows, so it might be a bunch of random shows like, oh, yeah, this is a thing. I'm trying to think. Because it sounds like they are going to have announcements, but I'm trying to think what's a big enough they can actually make a game for that makes sense.
And also, I think it just has to be attached to a developer that obviously they can prove to me that it either has the funds or the passion behind it to make like it. Like, I still see a bunch of like kind of subpar license games coming out of something like this. Kind of like Stranger Things 3. It doesn't look that great.
Yeah.
And especially with that being the leading thing that they have so far.
I need a BoJack Horseman 3D platformer made by Rare.
I mean, I love BoJack Horseman with all of my heart. It is probably like one of my favorite just entertainment series of all time. I think we both know if they announce a BoJack Horseman game, it would probably be bad.
Probably.
It would probably be really low budget and just really bad. And not even made by the creators at all. It would just be bad.
Make a Conker's Bad Fur Day with a BoJack skin.
I don't know, Jeff. This doesn't do a whole lot for. I mean, like, This is kind of a proof to me that I should be care about this. Like, I'm not going to care about this until I'm like, oh, holy shit, there was actually like we're not going to be doing reactions to the Netflix E3 panel.
Well, I don't even know if there's something that's gonna.
It might not even be live stream, which
it might be just be news. We're talking about, hey, this panel happened, these games were announced. Cool.
Which is makes me care even less. But if they prove me wrong, I'll be happy.
Okay.
I'll insert. Speaking of E3, Jeff, this is just really quick. I don't think there's actually too terribly much to talk about this. But this comes from Liz Lanier. Liz Lanier from Variety. Major game publishers Activision and Electronic Arts have opted out of maintaining a booth at this year's E3, as can be seen on the official floor plan for the upcoming event. Both Activision and EA will still be at the event, but will have meeting rooms, not booths, at E3. The annual event that brings industry people and consumers to Los Angeles to preview new gaming. You know what E3 is. EA is skipping a press conference this year as well, putting its efforts behind EA Play instead, which we already knew that before. We already knew that they weren't going to be holding a traditional press conference, but now we know that them and Activision are also not on the actual.
And we don't have Sony. What's the point of E3 now?
Is E3 dead? Sorry, Jeff. Let me get the sound bites to cut out. Just all right. Shh. Is E3 dead, Jeff?
Yes. Nah, everything's fine.
Yeah, it is weird to see. Like, I don't like. Let me preface this. E3 is not dead, but I do think the ESA has a problem with. Specifically E3 is costing too much, and other developers have so many other options to still participate with E3, but to not be in E3 proper. So I think E3 proper is kind of having an identity crisis. Also with the whole, it's half fan, half trade show, but it's not great at doing either anymore. Like the fan part is getting in the way of the trade show, and also they just do not have anywhere near enough stuff for fans to do versus like a Comic-Con and PAX and stuff like that. So like E3 is definitely changing, and it has some problems to figure out, but I don't think it's like dead.
This is what people were freaking out about this week. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to follow much stuff this week. I haven't ever seen people freak out.
Yeah, there was some freak out.
Okay.
And stuff. Which I don't think there is like it's different. Like this is a different year for sure. Sony's gone, and like people are kind of like Microsoft's doing their own thing, still part of E3, but not like part of the actual like show, the floor of E3. And I do think that is like from the ESA side, like I'd be like, maybe we need to figure some things out, which I almost feel like people pulling out like this is going to make them double down more on the fan aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Like eventually, E3 it might become more and more fan centric.
At some point, it could be a Nintendo trade show.
But like Easy Allies said, I keep mentioning Easy Allies, but obviously they're me and Jeff listen to them a lot and all that. I mean, am I wrong in just feeling like the answer is kind of simple? Have public days and private days.
Yeah.
Just like have your private days where it's only press there, and maybe that's when the conference or whatever, and then also have public days where the press has already gotten their appointments and everything. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know why you have to combine the two. Like E3 can kind of be different than other places because it has that press angle to it.
I imagine part of it is no one wants to be there more days.
Yeah, I mean, but it's already like way less days than like a Comic-Con and other things like that. But I mean, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different, but we will see.
But Darby, I mean, need my cards at E3. I need my fish.
I mean, despite all this, like, where's your hype level for this year's E3 in comparison to some other ones?
I mean, hype's always high. I mean, nothing. I mean, maybe not as much as last year because no Kingdom Hearts. That's out. No Smash. I mean, that's out. Yeah, so like stuff like that is a personal. There's no Sony, but it's still
like once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, Nintendo's lineup, honestly, going into this E3, as far as what we know of, is probably the best it's been the last I don't know how many years. I mean, if we're just being honest, it may not have that one big game like Mario Odyssey, Smash, or Zelda Breath of the Wild, but their overall lineup's great. Sony may not be there, but it just would have been the same games we saw last year. Microsoft has been it's the most exciting they've been in years, even if, even without their whole, yes, most of their stuff is going to be third party, probably their conference. It's some of the most exciting stuff. Even though first party is still the most exciting. We're getting to the point where people might start talking about new consoles potentially. Probably not much, but
a little
that's
bit.
fine.
Yeah.
Might see Cyberpunk.
We will.
Well, we already see some. We might see some substantial stuff with Cyberpunk. Yeah. We're seeing Final Fantasy VII remake. We might see the Avengers game.
Dude. Hell yes, we are, dude.
So, I mean, it's still exciting.
I mean, going into this, honestly, even if Sony was here, I would have been more excited for Microsoft's conference just because overall, it's going to be the jam-packed one, and I feel like it's going to be even more this year. Yeah, it's a weird E3, but the hype is still just as much there as it's ever been, and I think it's I think we're going to leave this E3, and we're not going to be like, oh, that was unfulfilling. I think it's going to feel overall like a normal E3 despite.
And we're still getting state of play, so it's not like we're not getting nothing from Sony ever, as far as around E3. So, speaking of Sony, Darby, and the hype. This comes from Colin Stevens from IGN. While it's still unclear how far away The Last of Us Part 2 release is, the game's co-director has indicated Naughty Dog is hiring new talent to help close out its development. Posted by co-director Anthony Newman on Twitter via Games Radar, he wrote, "Lots of awesome positions open to help us close out this game, ... I especially want to highlight the melee animator position. The positions highlighted in the post include animators, programmers, game designers, lighting, and visual effects artists, and more. These positions have been open as of May 10th. While Newman's phrasing isn't entirely concrete, it appears Naughty Dog is hiring this talent for this final stretch of the game in order to close out development. If new talent is coming in, that likely means there's still quite a bit of work left in the game, but if this is in the later stage of development, that means the team has certainly completed much of the game's production. This can mean the game is coming later in 2019, or still a year or more away. But at least it appears we won't be waiting years and years for its eventual release. Darby, Last of Us Part 2, it's gonna come out by next year.
Close out, Jeff.
Yes, close out. And here's the thing. I don't think it might be coming out this year because, they're hiring people.
Yeah.
Unless they do crazy crunch, and I just hope they're not doing that.
Yep.
They're probably gonna do that either way, but
video game.
Yeah. But Jason Schreier said that unless it gets delayed, he's expecting it this year. So yeah, I trust his word more than a lot of other people's in there.
Yeah, my biggest guess is either this year or
it's planned internally for this year
or somewhat early, like next spring, like in the Horizon spot or the God of War spot.
So what I'm getting at is Darby, probably by this time next year you would have played Final Fantasy VII Remake and Last of Us Part 2.
What did I do to earn this, Jeff? I guess what did you do to earn Kingdom Hearts 3 and Smash? And
I just believed.
And then Banjo being announced for Smash was just gonna happen, but
believe.
Oh no, dude. I mean, like, this is. I don't think about Last of Us Part 2 often, just because it's kind of painful. Like, I just wanted the game. Like, I don't sit here and think about it often. But like, that is definitively one of the just entertainment pieces in general that I am like the most excited to see.
Yeah.
And it will probably wreck me. Like,
Yeah.
narratively, it'll probably like leave me. There will be some tears for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the closer we get to that game, I'm sure the hype is going to be unreal. But God, Jeff, we're gearing up. We're gearing up really. We are really gearing up strong for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Last of Us. Like, they're happening the same like week. It is going to make me sad.
Imagine if those two and Cyberpunk all come next year. That game of the year would be a bloodbath.
Hey,
and then plus whatever else would happen to come as well.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, Darby. You want to get into some sales time? Weird sales time.
Sales time. Weird sale. I love weird sales time.
Okay, so here's the thing. We got more fiscal year crap. So we got sales information, and we also just got some news from this stuff. So we'll just go company by company. A lot of these are third party.
It's true. News.
Oh, they're all third party. So let's just get into it, Darby. Let's get into it. Let's start with Konami.
Let's get it.
That's going to be pretty short and sweet. Konami's had their most profitable year for the second year in a row at 50.5 billion yen, or about 469.6 million US dollars.
What did that come from?
Pachinko machines. I'm not even joking.
No, you're not. Yeah, you're right.
I know. The fact that this is interesting is the fact that we pretty much don't think about Konami that much other than to make fun of Metal Gear Survive.
So this probably makes it even less likely that they're going to start making
exactly.
they're going to start
that's
making
the
good
news
gaming decisions.
Yeah, that's the kind of the news for that. It's like they don't need to make all these games that we want.
No, they're being reinforced. Whatever decisions they're making are being reinforced.
Yeah. So they'll continue re-releasing like Castlevania and that kind of stuff. They'll release those Yu-Gi-Oh
like
games.
Metal Gear Survive bombing it's just not even a blip on their radar at this point.
Now, again, it was this second year in a row. So Metal Gear Survive was released in a year they had record sales.
A blip. It doesn't matter. It could come out and two people bought it, and it still doesn't matter.
Exactly.
The pachinko war rages on.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. Konami.
Yeah.
I mean,
we keep talking about like Capcom and like what other companies could pull a Capcom revival like Sega and Konami. Konami's probably not going to be one of those anytime soon.
Yep.
Which kind of sucks because like Castlevania's trapped.
Yeah. But there's
can Capcom just buy? Can they just like sneak into Konami and steal Castlevania
and Metal Gear?
Just pull a heist. Just pull a heist mission.
Yeah.
Time heist.
Yeah. Okay, Dari. Let's talk about a company that's doing well that we're actually, happy with what they're doing and doing well. I mean, we're not saying we're upset that Konami's doing well. Good for them. People, making money and keeping their jobs here soon. So.
Yeah. Hopefully the work conditions have gotten better because that was pretty bad before. Yeah.
Let's talk about Ubisoft. Ubisoft had its biggest year ever. Let's continue that trend.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is outselling Origins.
Yeah.
Not that well, maybe that's surprising. I don't know.
I mean, at least post-launch, like in the way everyone's been talking about it,
true.
I'm not surprised.
Far Cry 5, best-selling Ubisoft game this generation.
That's maybe more surprising.
It's like Far Cry 5, just one of those games. It did well. No one really. I felt like not anyone in our circle really talked about that much.
But it doesn't matter. I think it just like Far Cry has become such a popular name outside of the gaming journalist perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people we.
I mean, a lot of Ubisoft games like the Tom Clancy games, even in general, are one of those things. The Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff.
But I bet a lot of people we went to high school with and stuff who don't pay attention to games probably bought Far Cry 5 because they're just fun games. Yeah. They're just genuinely just base level fun games.
Division 2 did not meet expectations on console, but did well on PC with Uplay sales up times 10.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I see so much talk about Division 2, but.
Just because it did not meet the expectations, that mean it did not sell well. The expectations could be $1 billion. Yeah. It's still not meeting expectations.
And with how
Division
much
2's done well from everything.
With how much they were marketing Division 2, it's clear they probably expected we have a gigantic hit on there.
Again, it might have been over. They still met and exceeded expectations in general. Just more of a game from PC than they planned.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see numbers if we ever do, as far as how this ranks around other Tom Clancy games. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Ubisoft gives numbers that often. more people just need to give straight numbers because I just love the straight sales numbers.
Was Division 2 Epic Game Store thing, like Epic and not
Yes.
Steam? So that's interesting too.
Yeah.
For it to be 10 times up and way better than expectations, even though it's on there. But like honestly, the Epic Game Store is like risen up so much that it's starting to be less surprising when things like this happen. But
Digital accounted for 69% of Ubisoft total sales compared to 58% last year. Not too surprising.
yeah, but I mean that is a big number though.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
that's a big number, and that's
again, the scales are completely tipping over, and like digital is the majority now. You know.
Yep. Ubisoft will launch this is the more interesting part of Ubisoft, the more fun talk about. Ubisoft will launch 4 AAA titles this fiscal year. Ghost Recon Breakpoint is one of them. The other 3 will be revealed soon, so you imagine E3, or before E3. Ubisoft confirmed that these 3 titles will launch in this fiscal year, Q4, so January through March.
Yeah.
Ubisoft also know that each one of them is a different genre and sort of different.
Oh, I didn't see that part of it.
Yeah, that's exciting as well. And here's something that goes along with it. Skull and Bones has been delayed until after this fiscal year and will not be at E3.
So, yeah, sad for Skull and Bones, but honestly it makes this even more exciting because you know that it's not one of the 4.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
I feel like, they would have said if one of them was the 4.
Yeah. So, Watch Dogs 3 is definitely one of them.
Yeah, the only thing is surprising is that it seems to be coming out later because we thought it was going to be like this in the last quarter of this year. Not the fiscal year, but the year.
It still could be. They could announce it at E3.
No, I mean, it's saying like Ubisoft confirmed that these 3 titles will launch in fiscal Q4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's January to March. Q4.
I thought they said it would launch like by then.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
The wording said in.
Okay.
So that's also, I guess they've done it before. They just did it with Far Cry and Division, but that's 3 games kind of, but they're different.
Yeah.
Also important to note, they do not count Just Dance as a AAA title, so that's not one of them.
Okay.
They have historically not counted Just Dance.
I mean, outside of Watch Dogs 3, I don't have any guesses if that's where we're going.
New IP, baby.
Yeah, new IP would be the most exciting thing.
Also, I think based on this, because, from what else like, these are games that we have not officially heard of, so not Beyond Good and Evil 2. Not that surprising. This is not one of them.
Yeah, I would.
I want it, but yeah. Take your time.
Shouldn't be ready yet.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm hoping
new collaborations, even though it probably wouldn't be considered AAA. But I don't know.
AAA Rayman, baby. Please.
I don't know if a Rayman game would be considered AAA either, but maybe.
No. The other ones wouldn't. That's why they put the more budget into this and work with Nintendo.
Open world Rayman.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm hoping one of them is a new exciting IP, at the very least.
I am agree.
Yeah. So we got 2 games we have no idea we're doing because one of these is not Assassin's Creed. We know that.
Yeah, we know it's not Assassin's Creed.
So that is exciting, and that just
Yeah, I think Watch Dogs 3 is the only one to really make a solid guess at, and after that, I'm kind of scrambling in the dark.
Splinter Cell. They did that cruel joke.
What ended up happening with that? I saw when they were like,
they pretty much just said it was a joke.
Probably a joke. Yeah, why would you do that?
I don't know.
That's terrible.
Unless that's what they want us to think.
They're playing with Will's heart.
Yeah.
They're playing with his emotions.
The only person that can play with our hearts, by ours I mean mine and yours, is Nomura.
Yeah, Nomura knows how to do that.
He is the king of it. Damn you, Nomura.
I know. I'm in the heat of it now, Jeff. You passed it on to me.
And I still have DLC to look forward to for Kingdom Hearts. He can still play with me some more, Darby. He has all the power.
Yeah, just power.
He controls us. Okay, moving on. Speaking of Nomura, let's talk about Square. Okay. Nier Automata has sold over 4 million units. Hot damn.
Man, that game was never supposed to do that.
No.
Not even close.
That was a game that they were probably like, we'll be lucky at a million.
This is one of those things. If Square came out and was like, Nier performed under expectations, I'd be like, Square, shut down your company. shut it down. Like, you don't know what you're doing.
You're lying to me.
Fire whoever made that prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's incredible for Nier Automata. And again, God, it makes me so excited for Yoko Tara's future games because now he proved that he can make a weird, bonkers-ass game that sells 4 million copies. So now,
and is critically received well.
Yeah, and now he can walk in there and be like, "Yeah, give me that budget.
Yeah,
you're that budget." And you better not tell me what to do because obviously
Platinum and Yoko Taro going there. Hey, can we get a budget? Square's like, yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really exciting.
No,
Yoko Taro is not supposed to be someone who makes a game that sells 4 million copies.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
I'm excited for what he does next. Kingdom Hearts 3 has had a great start. Expect more sales for DLC. I'm excited. We'll probably hear more about that at E3. Yep. I have no idea when the world it's going to be, but I'm excited for it.
Star Wars.
Here's something that's not surprising. Left Alive sales disappointing.
Jeff. It can't be.
I know. Okay. Octopath Traveler continues to meet sales expectations, so that's good. And it's about to be released on Steam, so it's going to get more sales.
Yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
Yep. Subscriptions for online games like Final Fantasy XIV remain solid.
Solid.
It's all because of Damiani.
Yep.
Most of the games planned for this fiscal year to be released in the last half. So that would mean... Wait,
I'm sorry. This is for who?
Square.
Oh, yeah, it's all Square.
Yeah, so it will be from October to March. So that is when we can expect Final Fantasy VII.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting it before that time.
I think some people have said September for reasons. I don't know.
Get that out of your brain. It ain't happening.
Odds are it's going to be like around where Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
January, February.
Especially since that did well for Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. And it'll do well for me.
Yep. Okay. Game announcements at E3, but not just that. We'll start the closing info about unannounced titles from this month on, I guess.
Avengers.
Yeah.
God, I hope so. If you have a freaking conference, unless it's an hour of Final Fantasy VII Remake, then...
Would that be so bad?
Then, unless it's that, then, yeah, we need Avengers.
We talked about this before, and I feel more confident saying this now that we know Final Fantasy VII Remake is happening and is going to be there. I feel like the fact they went where Sony slot, they're confident they have the stuff to do it, and... They're,
basically hyping up their conference now with 7 Remake, which is not something they had to do. They could have just waited for E3. And people have said, why didn't Square wait till E3? They know that now, they just picked up a lot more viewers by teasing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Also, I'm going to be maybe... I don't know if pessimist is the right word. I'm going to be business Jeff for a second.
I love business Jeff.
I mean, I think we mentioned this before. Sony has the marketing rights from what we've seen for Final Fantasy VII Remake, so I think it just might have been a thing of, hey, Sony's like, hey, yeah, you can do that, but we want the re-reveal.
Yeah, I can see that too. But also, it just works out for Square.
I'll say, it also just works for both.
And Square didn't even have to really... They didn't show their hand too much. They still have the Tifa reveal. They still have a lot of area reveals.
Release
Red
date.
13 if they want to, and release date and all that stuff. They still have... that trailer was just enough to get me really excited about this game again, to where I'm thinking about it every day. But it didn't reveal too much. They have so much they could still have big moments.
Yeah, it's just as far as brand new things, it's like, hey, this is what Aerith looks like. Hey, this is how much better Cloud looks. And hey, here's some looks at other key bosses and areas you already know about. There's still a lot more. You know what's coming. Get excited. Yeah, it's only a minute long.
I mean, obviously from the fan perspective, I guess if you got that big surprise and a big look at it at E3, that would have been cool. But from Square's perspective now, when we go into E3 and we're talking about what we're excited for, so many people are putting Final Fantasy VII near the top of that list, and that's Square's conference. Whereas before then, when we talked about Square's conference, it would be like, maybe there'll be something good. There probably won't, which is what literally we were saying on this podcast before. Literally the week before, me and you were both not really expecting too much. They were
we
we'd hope, but now
it's not for sure. But now we know Final 7 remakes happen, so we know 100% we're going to be watching.
My uncle, he had not watched. My uncle who got me into Final Fantasy 7, he had not watched the remake trailer because he said I'm not interested until I know it's coming out. Just watch the damn thing. And he was like, yeah, it looks really good. But he might even watch Square's conference at this point because he's really excited. That's what they want.
Yeah. So this is all very exciting, and please, just show Avengers. God damn it. just make it the best Square conference ever. Show a new Nier game. No, but seriously, they showed that Avengers and Nier.
Instantly go from worst to maybe not first, but like at least first in my mind, at least.
Hey, best of the third parties, like no doubt in my mind.
Oh no, yeah, I don't think Ubisoft has it in them to be better than that.
Okay, so let's move on to Take Two, Darby. The final of the these little fiscal year things. Borderlands series has sold 43 million units.
That's freaking wild. I mean,
that
Borderlands is big, but that's insanity.
Like top certain amount of franchises of all time sales.
I just don't think of Borderlands in that way. It's weird, yeah.
Borderlands 2 accounts for 20 million of those units. They expect Borderlands 3 to perform well. Yeah. Will be at E3 in a big way. Yeah. All that makes sense.
Like, especially after seeing this, like, I feel like a real big dumb for even remotely kind of like casting any doubts on Borderlands 3. I mean, this series is insane. Like, I just don't think about it. I don't feel like we hear. I mean, it's because Borderlands 2 was 2010 or 2011 or something, or 2012.
I think it was like. I think it's one of those things like, oh, is that recent? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like longer ago.
Yeah. But anyway, this is all exciting stuff. Crazy numbers. Yeah, Borderlands 3 is going to be huge, and it's going to get probably a decent show like Microsoft's conference or something.
Yeah, that's where I'm expecting it.
NBA 2K19 has sold more than 9 million units. That's a lot.
And that's the one they will continue to sell, I promise you.
Civ 6 did well on Switch, outperformed expectations. That's cool.
Yeah, I might pick up Civ 6 at some point. They keep advertising it to me on Steam, and it's like, hey, it's only like $10. Why don't you just buy it, Darby? I'm like, and there's some like Game of Thrones mods where you can do Westeros, and you can like make the different factions like Game of Thrones factions. Pretty cool.
Now this is where we might get a little down, like some bummer news. Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold 24 million units worldwide. This is up from 23 million last quarter. It's only sold 1 million in a quarter.
Yeah.
So it's slowing down big time.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot, but it's kind of seeming like this might be where it lays, where it like just slows to a crawl. And I definitely do. I don't know if it's the like controversy of it, of like some people not liking it or whatever, but I do feel like, I mean, to be fair, we've moved on to other games. There's other things coming out, but I do feel like the Red Dead talk kind of just stopped,
Mm-hmm. I just think the thing is, we'll get into a little about comparing online stuff, but we'll have reasons for it. But a lot of it has to do with the online is not appealing, as Grand Theft Auto, which has now reached 110 million units.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it was never going to be GTA Online. But
sorry, Jerry Petty. You lost that bet.
Oh, no. Yeah, he was always going to lose that bet. That was one of the worst bets he's ever made in his entire life. I love you, Jerry Petty, but his bet was that he thought Red Dead 2 could outsell GTA 5. Like,
never bet against GTA 5.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, so.
Which is a bummer just because I love RDR2 so much. But, I mean, 24 is still very good. It's just.
Yeah. RDR2 Online is performing better than GTA 5 Online did at the same point in time. I am not surprised. I mean, that's one of those things like, hey, it's performing better at this point in time. But I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, it was a more established thing. GTA 5 Online was not always the crazy juggernaut. It kind of had to build to that point. So you have to always take it's better than this was at the same point in time with a grain of salt, because it's a different industry. It's a different thing. Like, Rockstar Online is just a lot more established now, so it makes sense that early on it would pick up. But
these are the facts. Bring it up. It would have been bigger news if it wasn't the case.
Yeah, but it would it's never. You can mark my words. RDR2 is online, even if it grows a lot, is never going to be anywhere
it's not gonna
near
get to the point where
as
people. I don't think it's going to get to the point where people buy multiple copies of the game to get currency for the online, because for somehow it's cheaper to buy the game, a new version of the game, than just to buy the currency with microtransactions.
Just weird.
Yeah. They say they open subscriptions that streaming game services want to be where the customers are. What about the Switch?
Yeah. Cowards.
God, speaking of the Switch.
Speaking of the Switch, let's go on to our main topic, Jeff. Another game that we're so excited for. Good God.
Yeah. Sorry, non-Nintendo people.
Too many games. Yeah, okay. If you're not into Fire Emblem, bye. We'll see you next week. This has been Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it, because the rest of this talk is just going to be me and Jeff nerding out over Fire Emblem, which is easily one of my most anticipated games, especially in the near future.
That and Mario Maker, yeah, it's like the top.
I mean, I love Mario Maker, but
no, I'm just saying.
But
like,
Fire Emblem
is kind of far away.
Yeah.
Coming months.
So yeah, check out the Game of Thrones Spoilercast if you're not a Fire Emblem person. We love you. Peace. All right. Now that it's just the cool people. Now
the nerds are gone.
We got the losers out of here.
Okay. So all this information is coming from Visit ASM from Serene's Force. So all this coming from is it Core or Famitsu? Famitsu.
Yes.
Famitsu's, because Japan is Japan. Japan gets all this fancy information in magazines.
I was gonna ask
dying breed.
I was gonna ask you, like, I saw all this information, I still didn't know where it came from. I was like, did someone get the game early or something? Like a
nope, it's from a
it?
Japanese magazine.
Okay, so like Nintendo just dropped all this information? 'Cause it's an absurd amount of information.
Darby, this is how they announce new Pokemon.
Yeah, I know. But I mean,
it's
like,
weird.
This seemed like so much information that it was like almost detrimental to selling the game, because it was like too much to even comprehend. It was just, It just seemed like it was like the info
and
dump,
they still haven't like put a trailer out to explain this stuff or anything in America.
Maybe that's more of my point. Like, this is too much information for text, for just like reading about it. It's far too much.
So let's get in,
because even when I'm reading about it, it's like Crest's Gambit's abilities, like, I just need to see this.
I think we missed the Famitsu article too.
It's honestly stuff that is going to make so much more sense when you play it than it does written out here. But we're gonna do our best.
Okay, so let's get to it. Yeah, as Ladar said, there are crests in this game. Some characters bear crests that were passed down from their ancestors. So, like, familial crest. These crests can also unlock talents like superior physical and magical abilities. There are apparently 21 crests. And from what we can tell, the main character has one. It's a mysterious crest, so I guess we're gonna find out about its, main character's ancestors during this.
The Targaryens.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to remember all their names. But the main house people, the Elder God,
Black Eagles.
Yeah, the Elder God, Dimitri, and some other guy.
Claude.
Yeah. All have crests, and a whole bunch of other characters that apparently are kind of more royal than the other regular people have crests as well, that each have their own powers, or different stat boosts and all that kind of stuff. There are 3 types of skills: personal, class, and professor skills. Personal skills are unique to that character. Class skills are unique to, whatever class they're.
Yeah.
Professor skills include sword, lance, axe, authority, and etc. And these are important because these are the skills that you, as a teacher, are going to choose to level up through tutoring.
Yeah, which that's cool. So like every character has a skill that is on them, no matter what class you put them on there. It never goes away.
Yep, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, which is cool. It makes everyone unique, even though you can shape them into whatever you want. They're always going to have something, which is cool.
Yep. Darby, do you remember during the first trailer when we saw people battling, there were a group of soldiers?
I do.
What if I told you that was more than a visual thing? That was actually a game mechanic.
Well, that would make me pretty excited.
Yep, and that mechanic is called battalions. Battalions are the group of soldiers who appear alongside and assist characters in battle. Battalions can be hired and equipped to each character. By deploying the battalions, the character's abilities may change and gambits can be used. The associated professor level is authority. So yeah, authority is gonna, that you can upgrade that through tutoring and stuff. Yeah, authority is gonna, you bossing those lowly soldiers around.
Yeah.
The initial professor skill is authority level 1, which grants might +2 when again blah blah blah. By raising a character's authority, stronger battalions can be deployed and skills related to gambits can be learned. Battalions can be hired via the Knight's Guild as the story progresses. The options at the start are hire, disband, or replenish. So what's interesting about this, it looks like you have to buy/hire these people.
Yeah, whether are you buying them with money, like you're recruiting this army?
I do think. I think that's the way it was.
Which that's kind of cool from a lore perspective. It's like you're buying soldiers. And
you got to choose and battalions might be good for different things. There might be different kinds of battalion stuff. Choosing who to equip them to, like who will make the most use of it as putting a battalion to and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. And I think you mentioned it, but like they could get more out of them if they're like more leveled up, if they have more of the authority. Yeah,
more authority.
Which again,
respect my authority.
Which again is cool from just a story perspective. It's like, yeah, this person is a better leader because I've taught them to be a better leader, so they're going to get the more out of this. True.
And I mentioned gambits during this. Gambits can be used by characters or battalions deployed. They can deal damage to enemies, but also provide supportive effects, allowing for various strategies. When using a gambit, enemies cannot counterattack, and multiple enemies can be targeted at the same time. But their uses are limited. A few examples of gambits are coordinated lance, assault, Godspeed preparation, and lure scheme. I'm just going to go through real quick what these things are, and to give you an idea what these skills are. Coordinated lance assault hits one enemy on the left and right of the targeted foe. This gambit causes the distress status, and this is status, reduces all stats by 10%, prevents movement, stat boost for battalions and gambits. That also means enemies can have battalions.
Yeah, which I figured, but that's cool.
Can be used at least twice. This implies enemies can use battalions and gambits. Godspeed preparation. For one turn, increases the movement of allies by 5. Targets an adjacent ally and seems to apply the effect to all allies with a 2-tile radius of the target. Or maybe just a triangle with the user at the center and the target at the edge. Can be used at least twice. Lure scheme. Targets an adjacent foe and moves them to the tile behind the user. Also creates a special tile where the foe used to be, which triggers the same effect. Also seems to inflict distress on the foe. Can be used at least twice. And there's more stuff. They have like a chart on there, I think, of more gambits and what stat stuff they do. Okay. But these are the ones that they just kind of explained in more detail.
Yeah.
Which
seem like the ones they explained seem super useful.
Yeah. So yeah, part of it was fun about going through the story. The nitty gritty is like, hey, new mechanics add new layers to this combat.
It's crazy how like I don't know, dude. Like the combat and the social stuff just seem to be.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Amped up to 10. Yeah, we'll get to the social thing. But like, I just to take a break from this. Like, I just love that. Like both elements of Fire Emblem, they've just taken it and it's like we're gonna make both of these like two equal whole, like two equal halves. And it's like this seems like so much more complex.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. I know it's coming out in July and we're still got E3 and everything. I'm surprised we haven't gotten a Fire Emblem Direct yet.
Yeah,
because it feels like this is too like there's so much more to show. Like there's not enough time for them to show to E3. They could still do a Fire Emblem Direct, let's say after E3 in early July, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, yeah, I think there's still time for one.
Yeah.
And they might even like, well, nah, never mind. I was gonna say they could like tease the Fire Emblem Direct at E3, which they might, but that's not usually their style. They usually just kind of like drop it.
Yeah. Want to hear about a new weapon type, Darby?
Yeah, Jeff. So it's not just swords. What the hell is it? Swords, bows, and what's the other one?
Lances.
Yeah, lances.
And axes.
Yeah.
And books. We got gauntlets. Gauntlets allow the user to deal consecutive attacks, similar to brave weapons. If the character's attack speed is 4 or higher than the opponent's, a follow-up attack will be performed. If a gauntlet is equipped, you can deal 4 hits in one battle. However, gauntlets cannot be equipped when riding on a horse or Pegasus.
Sorry.
So, yeah, you remember the brave weapons are, Darby. They're just the ones that are usually really fast, I think.
They're usually what now?
I think there's swords that are kind of faster. They're more guaranteed, like, you can hit someone twice.
Okay.
Because you know your speed.
Okay, yeah.
Gauntlets seem to be kind of like that just by default. And and if you're fast enough, you can do 4 hits in one battle.
That's a lot. That's crazy.
Yeah. I imagine they're weaker overall. Though,
I would imagine so.
Usually the way it goes. So that's exciting. New weapon types are always exciting.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm curious to see how the weapon triangle will be affected.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be moving around.
Yeah. Darby, I hear you like Persona.
I do like Persona quite a bit, Jeff.
I hear you also like Fire Emblem.
I do like Fire Emblem quite a bit.
You want some Persona in your Fire Emblem?
Jeff, nothing would make me happier.
Good. Because we got school life, Darby. So yeah. We knew obviously this is taking place in a school, but now we got more idea of how the whole school thing's going to take.
In Hogwarts, right? That's what
the game divided into 2 parts, battles and the academy. You can check an in-game calendar to plan how to spend days. Like you have a calendar.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, you have a calendar. I've seen something like they even have characters' birthdays. Like there's one thing like Elderguard's birthday.
That gets me like more excited than it should. It's just a dumb calendar, but like the fact that the fact of how Persona that
No,
feels.
and it seems. Let me see. Yeah, so I'll just read the next couple. Weekdays will have lessons, tutoring, auto tutoring, group tasks, and set goals, and weekends will have free time, stroll, class, rest, venture, and examinations. Examinations will allow class change for students. So that kind of stuff is, during the weekdays you can have classes or whatever. You can pick the tutor students, auto tutor them, just kind of based maybe on suggestions. Group tasks, you can put 2 students, I think, together. I think it's might be like once or twice a week, depending. You might be able to do more as you level up.
Okay.
Because there's like instructor gods. It shows how many students you can tutor in a week. This goes up as your instructor level increases. So you kind of want to keep that going. And you can set goals for your students. Be like, hey, this is how we're going to get you to, and then kind of study on their own thing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like, dude, this is another thing that like makes the previous Fire Emblem social stuff seem basic as hell.
Yeah,
because I mean, it used to be they fight together or something, and eventually they get to know each other, and you have like a few lines of dialogue, and they move up and have a relationship, and that's that. And it's, you know, it's a big part of Fire Emblem, but it's not really that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. This just feels like it takes the concept of Fire Emblem having the battle and the social thing, and just you being kind of a commander above them all, and it just makes it feel like so much more worthwhile, and so much more like every bit of this seems very integrated into the combat and like how your soldiers are going to end up being. But it also just like, it feels like it's going to scratch that Persona itch of like, I'm going through, like, I feel like an actual commander doing this, and I'm going through days, weeks and days and stuff. And it's like, how am I going to spend my time today? Also, which is really cool, but it's also just one half of a battle system that seems like it's so much more revamped. Like, I wish people were more excited for this game because like this seems so cool.
Okay, so let's see. It seems during the end of a season, which is pretty much a month in this game, and it seems like there are 12 seasons,
like
in
a semester.
Year. There will be a field study, which is an end of a chapter. Which is the end of a chapter battle, which is going to be like the main story battle for that chapter.
Yeah.
And I guess there will be like some maybe mini battles throughout, where you can choose to do mini battles kind of throughout.
Yeah.
And I mentioned before, calendar will feature birthdays, events, classes, and battles. So it seems like, there will be like school events, like school festivals, and kind of crap.
Yeah.
It's mentioned the instructor gods.
We have this giant bloody battle that's going to be terrible. But it's Sarah's birthday the next day, so make sure you tell her happy birthday after the battle, everyone.
Students can be motivated by interacting with the protagonist, and through clues, like they show something like you can eat lunch with them and talk to them and socialize with them, and that will get students more motivated and that kind of stuff, may increase stats and stuff. And during battle, like the whole thing of you fighting right beside each other, and all that stuff.
Yeah. It was cool. I definitely, in like Awakening and especially Conquest and stuff, it was like I had my pairs. It was like I send them in together because they work well as a team, and also they love each other.
Love. So Darby, we got all this stuff, and there's more like detailed stuff in the article. So I'll mention it again if you want to go read that. It's from Serene's Forest, SERENES Forest. Is where this stuff is. Just do Fire Emblem Famitsu. It's a recent thing. Dari, do you want to hear some juicy rumors?
Jeff, of course I want to hear juicy rumors.
None of this is confirmed. This stuff is confirmed. This is official stuff, it seems like. But this is this next stuff is just some rumors that I remember off the top of my head. It was a lot more in-depth rumors, but it sounded really cool. I want to talk about
Tinfoil hat.
Yeah, let's do
Crackpot.
So they talked about some of the school calendar and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And they talked about going through a year of this is just half the game, Darby.
Nah.
And then after that, there's a time skip when things get dark and brutal.
Shit.
Like war happens, like you pick a side and then war happens.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Because I definitely was worried it was... Oh, and don't get me wrong, it still could be this way. Because Conquest kind of advertised itself as like... almost you're playing the bad guys when you absolutely were not. So this, what I'm about to say, could still be a problem. But I was definitely worried about, like, you have these different warring factions, but they all seem like they're all good people who are friends with each other. Yeah, but sorry, continue with.
Yeah, it does seem you do pick a faction at some point. And you know what's also great, Daria? Apparently, there's no children. It's like there might still be social links, potentially the marrying stuff and that kind of stuff, which on its own is fine, but I don't need no convoluted, dumb reason for them to put kids in this game again.
Yeah, the bend over backwards to do it, you know.
Guys, what if we made a pocket dimension where people put their kids to grow up really fast for some reason and makes them the same age as their parents, even though these are the parents that gave birth to them?
It also, like, obviously the reasoning and stuff like in the story was really stupid, but it was kind of cool seeing the children or whatever. But I also don't want that to be just a Fire Emblem staple.
Yeah.
At some point, I don't want it to be like, oh well, we have like, I want you to play Fire Emblem, but keep in mind there's some dumb shit's gonna happen with kids. Yeah.
Oh, these guys in school, but they got adult children now. Deal with it.
Deal with it. Hashtag deal with it.
So yeah, Derry, that's some new Fire Emblem information.
So they didn't say anything more about how it would get dark. They just think that like you're gonna have to choose a side, and
yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to that rumor, and that thing's not confirmed.
Some Game of Thrones stuff's gonna happen.
So Darby, do you want me to pull it up on my thing real quick since we have some time? You know, we're doing pretty good on time. Just real quick to end out the podcast and talk about maybe one more story related thing that was in the Famitsu article.
Sure.
So. Official stuff.
You sure, Jeffrey?
Sure. And then maybe I can scan through and see if there's anything else interesting. Oh yeah, they also went over classes, but none of them seem new, so I was going to go over all that stuff. So if you want to look up more stuff for that, you go and do that.
Yeah, I will on.
And they have a lot more information on the school life stuff. I just kind of did the bare, like the essential part of it. There's a lot more details on that.
Yeah, it kind of seems insane how much detail there is.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the Church of Saros. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Isn't this your central hub area thing or something?
I
remember this in the thing.
Okay, so this is mainly, it seems to be talking about, you know, in the trailer where there was like this priest girl and then this evil dude with like a fire sword. Kind of talking about that.
Okay.
Let's see. This stuff might be confusing without reading the whole thing. Never mind. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's a lot of reading, and then it's like some backtracking and stuff. But and it might be some spoiler stuff. So we'll just leave it at that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for the tease. You can read that if you want to.
Yeah, it's out there. It's out there. But just generally, how does all of this feel to you? Like I broke in and like shouted a bunch of stuff, gushed a bunch.
It makes me more excited
yeah.
because from the combat situations, like there's going to be more involved, so that's going to be fun. It's going to be one of those things like I think I say this confidently for both of us. Looking multiple times this game where we just sit for like over an hour just looking over stuff and planning out like what we do with who.
Yeah, we're gonna feel like crazy people just like planning this stuff out. Like, yeah, there's probably gonna be like I could see other people be like, "Move on, Darby." And I'm like, no.
I mean, hi, Mom.
It's like, yeah, just the sheer I just imagine you're gonna have like a lot of characters that you're dealing with.
But since there are 3 factions, and assuming, I mean, even whether that whole leak thing I told you or rumor thing I told you is true, you probably are gonna have to pick one side at some point.
Yeah.
So, they gotta make enough on like one side to.
On all of every side, there's gonna be so many characters in this game total, but they all
Oh yeah, also something else. They said the story structure was more or similar to Radiant Dawn, where switching between factions and them, switching perspectives and stuff.
Anytime you mention Radiant Dawn, you're gonna get our attention.
Yeah. So yeah, Dari, this information overall, the official information, they get you more excited with everything with the battle system and the school life stuff.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it really seemed like if I thought about like what would be a big step for Fire Emblem, it would be to make the social stuff feel more than just a gimmick, which is definitely, as much as I enjoy it, it definitely kind of felt like a gimmick before. Yeah. But it feels way more substantial and way more important this time around, and just more fun. Like it's going to be a lot more involved. And you're still gonna have you're like basically you're gonna have what the previous Fire Emblems had with the character relationships and getting the dialogue, but there's just sounds like so much more on top of that, and just being like, I want to make this character like this style, this character this style, and like group these together and go. Yeah.
And we talked about this before. It's so weird that it feels like. I know we're really excited. I expect us to be on the higher end of the excited thing for this, no matter what. But it feels like we're kind of alone with being really excited for this. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, not many people are talking about it. Period, and even a lot of the people that talked about it seem like they're down on it. They're pessimistic or just kind of like skeptical about it. But
I've seen some people like saying, "I just don't like the designs." Like, designs are fine.
I mean, like, the only thing I could see is like maybe wanting a bit more of a graphical upgrade, which the graphics altogether could look better.
Yeah,
but overall, I still think they definitely look better than previous Fire Emblems. They could look even better, but like I like them overall. The cutscene, like anime graphics, look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The just general designs of the characters, like I can't believe that we maybe have dodged the waifu bullet with Fire Emblem, because everything we've seen.
And there'll still be waifus, but not to like Camilla levels.
Yeah, not just like that is your sole character, or at least seems like.
Yeah, but also then again, I've seen some people not like the fact that like the battalions exist as like from a visual standpoint. There are all those soldiers there, like it not looking like it's like an actual war. I'm like. But like, that makes it cool.
Yeah, it never
that adds to it.
It never really made sense that you're in this big giant war, but
and then you only have like a dozen people on your side.
Yeah, all you see is that, like, yeah, especially if you're just talking about a visual level. Even if the battalions weren't a part of this at all, like from a gameplay perspective, I would still love the visual of like, oh, these people are fighting in a war ground. It's not just like empty field with a.
But the fact that it's actually part of the mechanics makes me even more excited.
Oh yeah. I mean, to find a reason for it to be in
like,
there.
I'm curious to see. I can't remember if it says so. Like, maybe there's something like weird you can do. Like, let's say you have an axe guy who's strong, but you equip like a bow and arrow battalion to him or something. Like, what would that do? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get crazy with it, doggy dog.
Yeah. I mean, but I think some people were concerned that the battalions was like a huge, like the people on the field where it's a huge gameplay change, which is not. It's a visual thing, and it also has like a added benefit with this. But like, there were some people who were like, "Is Fire Emblem a Muso game now?" I'm like, "No,
we already got a Fire Emblem Muso game."
Yeah, you got that. This is not that. Yeah,
those tastes were weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. No, it was takes that made no sense, because if you just watch the actual trailer, it would show, weird takes.
I mean, I enjoy Muso to a point, but I'd be along with it if they made the mainline Fire Emblem game a Muso game. Oh. Like, I mean, no.
That would be depressing.
That would be depressing. Do that for spin-off, which they did, which is fine.
Yeah. Scramble. Ready for the scramble. God. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Wait. I got it. We got Fire Emblem Muso game. We got Persona 1. Where's my Tokyo Mirage Session Muso game? I need my pop idols in a Muso game.
There's so many of them. It's their paparazzi they're having to fight off.
Yeah.
It's they're
are they singing songs while doing it? I'd buy that.
I would watch you play that.
Man, music in Tokyo Mirage Session is great.
The ones you showed me were actually good.
Yeah.
I think about play. I think about is Tokyo Mirage Session like crazy enough that I would just enjoy it in a weird way. Like I enjoyed Persona and I enjoyed that.
I feel like you get some enjoyment out of it if you go in expecting the right thing.
Yeah. The story might be the thing that just drives on me, but we'll see. Yeah. We would see. I mean, we might see. I wouldn't say we will see. I don't know. We might see. All right, thank you guys so much. Game of Thrones Spoilercast, Nerds Alley Spoilercast. Go check that out. E3 coverage in general. Get ready for it.
This week just happened.
God, it's so close. It snuck up on us.
I kept on thinking, like, wait, just week happened this soon? I thought it was like close to Tuesday. Man.
I gotta stand up. All right.
Bye.
Bye.